Neha, over to you. I just wanted to tell all the participants that I got a surprise package. I got Akshat here, their senior, and we can start with Akshat. And thank you so much, Akshat, for joining us at such short notice. And maybe we can start with you. You can motivate these all your juniors, and then we can relieve you.
Yeah.
Over to Akshat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Akshat,
you.
please, especially, since they haven't joined the colleges as yet, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
about a week, 10 days to go. And I
Right.
believe you would be the best person to talk to them at this moment.
Great. Hi everyone. I'm Akshat. I'm a former CP student and currently now I'm in my third year at NLS. Um, I see a lot of guys like. I hope you guys have made up your mind now that whether you're going to NLS or NLS, whatever, right? But I'm pretty sure like I can see a lot of you are coming here at NLS, and I think for the first year the college starts on what 28th or 29th. So yeah, and we'll be reaching on 30th. So I guess I'll meet you guys there itself. But I mean, it's really great. I never imagined that in my third year also I'll be coming and I'll have an opportunity to talk to people who who are coming now to NLS who were like because we've also been in your position like like whole CLAT thing and then like CLAT possible doing all these interviews and everything and that that anticipation, that anxiety, that excitement. Okay, like college is gonna start in a couple of weeks, and yeah, I mean it's a great experience. Um, after like having a having an amazing time at CLAT possible, we started with NLS and like law school itself is gonna be like amazing. A lot of opportunities, a lot of avenues where you can explore yourself like things you've not maybe done before, like debates, moods, perhaps dancing, whatever interests you, right? So I hope like I'm sure you guys must have heard a lot of stuff about law school. Like it's like very academically rigorous, whatever. But like my only advice would be like when you come here, just come with a clean slate. Like don't have any prejudices or uh, preordained suppositions or something like, oh, law school is like this, law school is like that. Law school is anything that you want it to be. So yeah, just have fun and like enjoy your, enjoy your time with your family right now because then you'll be off to college, right? So I do hope like for all those of you who are coming to NLS, I do hope that we can meet in person as well, have a chat, go about a little like how does law school work and everything, and yeah, all the best, have fun.
And Akshat,
For
do you
all
remember
the
anything of your journey? How you managed to reach
Yeah.
NLS? Any of those memories you have to share?
Yes. I mean, it is amazing in one sense because see, when I gave my CLAT, we had our boards simultaneously with CLAT. Like there was just 1 week of gap, and I remember this entire week when the result was announced. I had to go to Lucknow. I met Surabhi ma'am and everyone. Then we had Judgment Day a couple of days after that, and then we had to, like within a couple of days, we had to go to college. So that was like those are some of the memories I have. But regarding the journey, I think it was really good. Like the whole CLAT thing and meeting all the mentors here. So like at my center, I met a lot of people. Then we had a club batch. I met Neha ma'am and everyone through those meetings and all. Then we went to Lucknow for the like the proper boot camp and everything. So I think those experiences were amazing, and I'll be very honest with you. Like even at law school, some of the my closest friends are people whom I met through CLAT Possible, by the way. And like I think Sulvi ma'am knows already. So that's the best part about it, right? It's this journey which introduces you to so many people. Like you preparing for the same exam in the same board, and now some of you may be going to the same colleges as your, let's say, study buddies or whatever. Some of you may be going to different colleges, and the thing is that you'll stay connected So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be great, and I hope it has been great for you guys. Like the whole CT experience has been great as well, and I hope the law school experience is also great. So,
So, for those who have just joined or the uninitiated, Akshat had AIR 5, CLAT, AILET both, and other than that, all our current CP students, Akshat is making all the mocks for you also, or at least some of the mocks that you're not able to do. So you can type some kind words for him to help you with the mocks. So he's contributing to all the mocks and everything else. So thank you so much, Akshat, and over to
thank
Neha
you so
again.
much, man. Thank you.
Okay. So, as I began, that the reason why we're here today basically is, to motivate all those people who are going to give CLAT this year, CLAT 25, and we've rounded up all these toppers from CLAT 24 to tell you as to how, because end of the day, they have turned their dreams into a reality, right? So now it's their turn to guide you, to help you, it's for you to pick up tips and to learn from how they did it, and also to learn from the mistakes which they made, which they can tell you that okay, there's something you don't have to do, because everybody's always telling you do this. That's fine, so you do that, and should also remember that this is what you do not have to do, right? So there's a couple of things we are going to learn from, I think, all of the people who are here. All of them are going to the top law schools of the country, their dream colleges. So let's begin with the, let's see who wants to go first. Let's begin with Managya. Managya, can you tell me what is
Good
your
evening,
take?
ma'am.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what?
what I would say, what not to do is, the biggest mistakes that I think I did was leaving GK for the last minute. That I can learn GK as I go, and I don't have to learn it like right now. I can keep making notes and I can learn them later. It is not a thing that I would recommend to anyone, because on the last like 30 days or 40 days or so, you are left with so much to cover and not nearly enough time to cover it. The pressure becomes immense and it becomes hard to cope up with everything. And I don't think it is worth the headache to like just keep it till the last minute. So don't leave GK till the last minute, I think.
Okay. And when you're talking about GK prep, let's talk about GK, and then what do you think the material which was provided to you, was it sufficient? Is it good to dabble into a lot of sources? Is it good to depend upon the newspaper? What do you think would be your take when it comes down to, your sources of GK, or how should you go about preparing?
I think GK sources should be consolidated. The more you go, and the more you delve into different sources, the more you get confused. Because like wherever you go, you're going to find different answers, different takes, and mostly it's just confusing. So keep your sources consolidated. For me, I like the CP material, and I stuck to it. For newspapers, it is important to go through the newspapers because it is very helpful in option elimination. Sometimes of course it's not possible because I also was doing school simultaneously. It wasn't possible for me to make GK notes from the newspaper, but because I went through the newspapers once, I knew that yes, this person I have not read in this context, so I'm pretty sure that I can eliminate this option. So for option elimination, newspapers are important.
Okay. So, okay. But then, so far as notes and all are concerned, like one source is generally a good one.
One source is
Having,
more than enough,
okay.
because the more you go idhar udhar, it just
It,
becomes more and more
yeah,
confusing.
and I see all the heads shaking. That's the beauty of it. None of them are saying no, no, no. What is this girl saying? We don't agree. Everybody's shaking their head. Yes, because been there, done that.
We have all been
Rather
in the
don't make
same
the
boat.
same mistake, right? Chalo, great. Now, okay. So that's, anybody wants to pitch in anything else about GK? You want to add on to what Managya said? Any of you, like, you want to give some
So,
other pearls of wisdom? Yes, Chander, tell me.
so, ma'am, I would like to say that don't try to complete the backlog in 1 month. What I did was I left all the subjects and just thought I will be doing backlog in 1 month, and
Mm.
all the subjects were degrading at that point of time. So I
Okay.
would suggest you keep doing the backlog side by side
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well as the current affairs and other subjects as well. If you leave other subjects, they will degrade over the time.
Okay. So basic idea is like, you prepare everything together, and like you got to allot time. End of the day, it's a lot about being organized. Is that so? Would you agree to
Yes,
that? Right? Because, you hear a lot that, and being organized is one, and making plans which are achievable. Do you think that's important? Anybody has any inputs on that? Keep making goals, making goals which are
Yes,
huge,
ma'am.
making goals which are achievable. Yes, Harshita, tell me.
Ma'am, I am a big planner. Like, I can't study without planning my to-do list, task list, and everything. And I feel when you make a task list, you have set goals that you have to achieve in this day. Or if you are not able to achieve, you can see what all is left. Rather than just going randomly or on sources and subjects, you should have a plan. But that plan should be realistic. Don't make a plan which says study for 13 hours, sleep for 6 hours, and like that. Rather, make a plan that is realistic and stick to it consistently, because consistency is very important. It is fine if you're studying for like 3 4 hours every day, but be consistent with it, because once you achieve the art of consistency, you are able to do good in mocks, you are able to do good in tests, and you are able to see where you are lacking. For example, if I wasn't able to do GK today, I can make my task list according to that. Okay, I wasted my time here. Tomorrow I won't waste my time here, but I'd rather dedicate it to GK. So I think rather than making an hour list or so-called timetable, you should make a to-do list. These all are the goals that I have to achieve in this day, and go with it.
Okay, good. Because, I've had students, I remember in the Delhi center where there's a couple of students who would come with their diary. And I remember one specific student who had made an hourly timetable. Okay. And she's like, ma'am, is my timetable fine? It started at 5 in the morning, 5 to 5:15 brush, 5:15 to 5:45 get ready for school. And I was like appalled. I was like, it was so much of hard work had gone into creating that timetable. But then, we are not AI. Like, had we been AI, then it's perfectly fine. But then humans do need some flexibility. So we need to be
Yes,
organized.
ma'am.
But being super organized has its own drawbacks, right? But then that doesn't mean you don't need organization, right? Thoda bahut to chahiye, but itna ki doable ho,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Chalo, Harshita, which
Yes, ma'am.
was your least favorite of the subjects? How did you tackle that? Harshita, can you hear me, bacha? I think she is frozen. Okay, let's Brahmjot. Let's talk to you now. Yes, tell me. So, in your prep, which was your Achilles heel? Which was the subject which always troubled you, and how did you go about tackling it?
So the subject was legal reasoning. I never understood the beginning.
Okay.
So honestly, I started getting the hang of it after the club batch happened. So it
Okay.
was like very late.
Okay.
It was like ab to karna padega wala time.
Uh-huh.
So my problem was I never used to understand the passage only. I always thought that it's incomplete.
Mhm.
It should have something more to it for me to understand it.
Okay.
So the approach was wrong. I was not supposed to like read the whole story. I was not there for that. Later on, I got that. So in the club batch, we had a few classes. Then it started clicking automatically. I don't know what exactly happened, but thank God it did. And then like when I came back, I did more mocks and it kind of like got sorted. So sometimes it's just about like the mindset you have. Sometimes like it gets stuck in your head. ये नहीं हो रहा है तो ये नहीं होगा. So I used to leave it for the end. I used to do the whole mock and then I used to come to legal reasoning.
Okay.
Sometimes I used to get almost equal corrects and equal incorrects. So it was that bad. So yeah, it was that. But then by the end, it got sorted. In the end, I kind of put all my focus on that because I had the other section sorted.
Okay.
So like as we were talking,
So how was your experience with the club batch now that you mentioned club
club
batch?
batch. I mean, it was kind of a wake up call for me. I mean, sometimes you don't think that you're like kind of good enough. I'm like, because like you think so many people are giving the exam. Why would you be the one who's getting selected?
Yeah.
So during the club batch, we had different assignments. We had a mock or something. Somewhere it clicked, ki, nahi, this is doable. I can do it. And like then you actually start focusing on it and like preparing for the top.
Mhm.
You get all your things focused. You like, I don't know, like feel good enough. Ki it's actually doable. It's within your reach. So club batch did that for me, and it was like a game changer altogether.
Yeah, because because club batch is a very novel sort of a concept, frankly. So a lot of people tell us also 1 whole week you're bringing students from everywhere. Is it feasible? How would you manage and everything? But then every year that boot camp somehow really has. I think all of you attended. Yes,
I think
were you there?
mostly yes.
Club batch, the batch we had there. So how was the experience? Can you tell me? Yes, the others.
So I was not able to attend the October batch. I was able to
Okay.
attend the June batch.
Okay.
So even that batch was a wake up call, because although people were just everyone just started getting kind of serious from then
Hmm.
on. So, and like everyone, when like we'd go in like in the week, everyone would be answering, and sometimes I'd think "Ki, maybe I should not answer this. Like they are able to explain it so much better than I would be able to. But that batch in some ways kind of set me ki nahi, I can do it. The test, then when that test happened, I got the fourth rank. So which I never expected. I was very shocked. I was like, okay, if I can get fourth rank in this, and like people are like actually really really good here, I think maybe I can. I mean, I think I can do something. Like I can do something better with myself. So that kind of like motivated me to put in more efforts. I was putting in efforts before, but then I could see my competition. I could like really see who are matlab, how much people are doing and how much more they are doing than me, and what I should do to kind of like get to that level. So that
Oh,
was like it was a very good experience. And I mean,
okay.
if people get the opportunity to go to the club batch, they should definitely go. Like that experience, they will never ever regret.
Okay, great. So it's the peers and the people who are you with, that was something which was a good takeaway. And like Brahmjot said, it gives you clarity on certain subjects, because sometimes it's the faculty or maybe it's the people around, because that is, I think, I think Harshita, you were an online student, right? I remember like having so many classes with you, and she was one of those students I still remember who had like umpteen doubts. It used to be lovely to have her in the class, because it would always be that
I was there on the mock analysis.
your your voice is breaking, Harshita. I think there's a problem with your internet. I think uh, i think she'll rejoin, but chalo, that we'll talk a little later. Yes, Chander, I think you wanted to talk about it, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ma'am, I did not go to the boot camp, but I
Okay.
was in the club batch, the online
Okay.
club batch that we had, the
Yeah.
group we had. I still
Yeah.
remember the teachers were answering our doubts even at 10 p.m. Even at 1 a.m., Siddhartha used to send the links for reading at
Yeah.
2 a.m. And then Surabhi ma'am used to give a little bit of Josh. And then Priyanka ma'am used to ask questions, and then Surabhi ma'am used to ask, "You have just ruined the movement. I was doing Josh talk right now." So it was fun. It was a lot of jokes, a lot of studies, a lot of doubt solving. I believe that solving doubt is one of the most important part of this exam. So club batch is something where your answers are where your doubts are answered, right? Just
Hmm.
within 1 or 2 hours. So it was the best thing that I think.
Yes, in fact, that is something which is really crucial. In fact, if you guys remember, we always have these doubt sessions. The teachers are obviously, the faculty is available to you at the center, but at times when it's not possible for you to come to the center, we would always have these online doubt sessions, which would be accessible to everybody. That is, I feel, because CLAT is a paper which is completely reasoning based. And a lot of times, those 5 lines of the reasoning which is given along with the question in your answer key, it does not satisfy you, right? I see big smiles there, because it does not satisfy you. You feel that my answer is correct. Okay, this looks fine, but why is this the only correct answer? Especially I feel with legal that happens so many times. You feel fine, this is correct, okay, I agree, but why is this not correct? I have an equal and very clear logic before my option also, right? So that clarity as to why your option is incorrect and why this is the only correct option, that is something which is very very important, and which kind of works well when you have a one to one sort of a doubt session, or wherein your doubts are clarified in a manner like this. In fact, this year onwards, even the mock analysis we are having on the mode of, where people have speaking rights. So, so, so these kids nowadays, they have a little bit of advantage, which you guys do not have, that during the mock analysis also. So I have analyzed mocks for like three hours now, because in the middle of the mock analysis, like, ma'am, no, this is not correct. So let's say you started the discussion right there. And so that's the beauty of the paper, I feel, and the subject that we study. Chalo. Okay, so that, Acha, now Harshita was talking about legal. So anybody else has any other tips for to do, not to do, so far as legal is concerned? Chander, Brahmjot,
Ma'am, my only tip.
Harshita.
Okay. So my only tip would be that in legal reasoning, analyze your mocks. Okay, so yeah, my tip would be to analyze your mocks very properly, because yeah, so because in legal reasoning, what happens is that sometimes what you think is not the exact explanation or the interpretation the principal has. And when you attend mock analysis and when you do it by yourself, you think that, okay, I missed this one single word, and that is why I, mark the answer wrong.
Okay, I
When
think Harshita's.
I used to attend all the legal sessions to analyze my.
Okay, so basically Harshita is
Yeah,
saying
there is a
straight from the
little bit
fact
of
of
internet problem.
Harshita, but there is lag in what you're saying. We can't really hear you clearly, but I'm getting the gist of what you said. The emphasis on
Yes,
analysis
yes,
of a legal mock,
yes.
right? Again, I see heads moving. So see, that is something which is very, very important. Okay, Managya, you wanted to add something on?
Yes, ma'am. One more thing that I would like to add for everyone, like attempt your legal section as if it was an RC section. Like, do not use your external knowledge on it, because I had seen it personally for me whenever I used to, use my external principles कि हाँ I have मैंने ये पढ़ा था, I have done that in classes, let's just put it like it should be correct. It never used to work, and my marks, when 30 marks a section, I would get like 16, 17. I think in back in October end or like November, both Siddharth sir and Surabhi ma'am told me to just take it as an RC section, do not use the external brains on it. And seriously, the mock scores improved apne aap phenomenally. And it was, I think, one of the best advice I've gotten. And seriously, if you attempt legal as RC, it would be better, and you could actually see the difference, because you are applying whatever is given in the passage and not using whatever external knowledge you've used. External knowledge, as far as matlab, legal is, I think it's more for understanding the legal jargon that is used in the passages. But for like purposes of solving the case studies that are given, it's better to stick to the knowledge that is given in the passage itself.
True. So, that's the tricky part, when it comes down to legal nowadays, that you have to use what is given in the passage. But in order to use what is given in the passage correctly, you need to have some prior knowledge. So there is this little connection which is there, wherein if you do not have any idea about how to go ahead attempt or how to understand that particular passage which is given, then it'll be difficult for you to attempt it. It will not be possible for you to actually comprehend it completely and apply it to the questions. But at the same time, you cannot use the knowledge which you already have exactly to those questions. So I feel from 2020 onwards, in the legal section especially, this change in pattern has been very tricky for the students, wherein because they need to know the law also, but then they don't need to apply everything which they know. So that is that balancing act which has become a little tough. So especially when you are beginning with your mocks, I feel that is the time when it's very difficult to balance it out. But then after, I think, about 5, 7 mocks, 10 mocks, then you realize, ki boss, okay, where is that sweet point that I have to achieve so that I am correct as well, but still I'm able to understand, right? So that is a sweet balance that you need to achieve, right? Anybody else wants to add on to that? That's it. Sure. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. Who wants to go in now with the next section? Maths. Let's start with QT. Okay. Okay. Now I see somebody hiding their face and Chander is gone altogether. Okay, let's start with Chander. Since you had vanished the moment maths was mentioned, let's begin with you.
So my maths was not that big of a problem for me because I had
Okay.
maths in 11 and 12. It's
Okay.
just a coincidence I didn't like math though. I was good at it, but I didn't like it. I hated that subject for it. I never wanted to solve that because even after knowing the concepts, I was not able to solve the questions in the within the given time frame. So I hated that, and I always used to go 5 to 10. And even in this CLAT, I made such a huge mistake. It was written 3 lakh in words, and I did not pay attention to that. And I solved the entire passage using X. That took a lot of time and it just ruined my paper this time. So I just hate the subjects. Even though I'm good at it, I just hate it.
But because you hated it, did it mean you did not practice it?
No, I practiced a lot. So I had a lot of, like, for each subject, for each topic, I practiced a lot of questions. So I was not scared of it, but I was just, I kind of resisted from doing that.
Because end of the day, when it comes down to preparation, you have to swallow the bitter pill sometimes, because it's
Right.
not something which you like, but then that's where the entire rigor of prep comes in. That, okay, I don't like it, but I have to do it. And when you get into that deal of having to do it, like you're saying, if you get 5 to 10, also correct in QT, that's a big plus. Because that is one, I feel, subject or one section wherein either you are correct or you're not correct. Because when it comes down to legal, when it comes to CR, you're still little iffy that, okay, I've marked it, you're sure about it also, but still, there is some part of your brain in some answers where you might not be very sure. But in maths, you've solved it. So you know that, okay, I'm not going to get negative marking in this. I am going to get, whatever I have, if I have marked it, it's going to be a +1. It's not going to be a minus 0.25 at least, right? So that is why, a lot of times your maths, your quant is something which is a big plus so far as your CLAT preparation is concerned. Yes. And what about you, Brahmjot? How was your experience with quant maths?
It was my favorite section. I did it the first thing in the mock. I mean,
Okay.
my thought process was key. The answer that I will know for sure, like 100%, this is the correct answer. I mean, because maths mein, it's either like right or wrong.
Exactly.
So that was the first thing I used to do. I used to get, like at least 7, 8, so I used to get correct. And finally, so I think I got all correct in the final paper.
That's wonderful.
So, that was my favorite section. I had maths in 11th and 12th also, but I hated that part of it. Like, I did not like the school syllabus maths. But CLAT ka maths is mostly based on 10th. It's kind of basically algebra only. I used to like that. So that was my favorite section. A lot of people do tell me ki that is like the worst part of CLAT and everything. But I think it's just I think some part of it is like it's somewhere in your brain. Because some people like some section, some like the other. Like I hated legal reasoning for no reason. I don't have anything against it, but I do not like it. So I think it does hinder your progress or somewhere. But the point is, in the end, it's going to come in the paper, and you have to do it. You cannot escape it. So it's better you get it done right in the beginning. So that's that.
Okay, Managya has been, being very, very expressive since the time maths has come into the picture. So please.
I have